Hey, what's going on, guys? Unstoppable Rage Train here, and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Factions on the CosmicPVP Monster Planet, guys. Now, as you can already probably tell by the title and thumbnail of today's episode, I am not in the best of moods. I'm actually a little bit upset today, and because of that, this probably is not going to be the longest episode ever, because normally my episodes, I'm able to split it into like different segments and do a bunch of different things, but for this particular episode, I just want to focus on one exact thing that happened and kind of just explain my feelings on that situation currently. Now, as everyone probably already knows, again, by title and thumbnail of this video, yes, we have been insided again. If you're new to the channel or just happen to miss that episode of my Cosmic series, about 4 or 5 days ago, I believe, our blaze grinder that had about 100 blazes in it was insided. We actually have still not figured out who it was that insided those blazes, and I was already pretty upset about that because I had spent a lot of time saving up those blazes and adding to that grinder, and now on top of it, our IG grinder has been insided. And this was also a very nice IG grinder. I'd say it was worth about the same amount as that blaze grinder. We had 18 IGs in it. I split the grinder with 3 different people. One of them had left the faction though, so it was just me and one other person who was sharing that grinder. And yeah, basically, long story short, at about 3 a.m. last night, I logged onto the server and someone said, "Rage, your box got insided." I went to my home AFK, which is where I would normally go to AFK my IGs, and I noticed that the door right here was completely missing, so I assumed they just had a TP into the AFK pool or something, and they were able to seg the door. And then they made their way somehow, I don't even know how, down into the area right where our IGs were, and this is where the 18 IGs were stacked, and as you can see, none of them are there anymore. Now, a faction member was actually online when this happened. They were not a mod or a co-leader or an owner or anything like that, so they were not able to do anything to stop the person, but they saw the guy, and actually it was 2 people who were sitting in here, and they were using lucky sea eggs to get our IGs. So obviously, I'm still very upset this happened, and it's not even because I was like relying on the IGs so much for money. It's just like at this point now, between the blazes and these IGs now, it's like everything I save up for on the server ends up getting insided. My problem on factions used to always be getting raided. You know, like the base, we wouldn't put enough work into base defenses, the faction wouldn't be on enough. And then, so just like a couple weeks into the season, the base would get raided, and from that point on, it would just be a major struggle to keep producing Cosmic content because I wouldn't have a solid base to record in and to, you know, get content from, I guess. But this season, we've been doing really well. In fact, our base is still up. But this time, instead of raiding being the main issue, it's insiding. Which, if you're an old-time fan of the channel, you will know I've actually made a video on insiding in the past, talking about how much I hate insiding. I don't think the video is public on my channel anymore. I privated a lot of my old videos. So unfortunately, if you guys are looking for that, you're not going to be able to find it. But again, if you're an old-time viewer of the channel, you might actually remember some of the points I made in that video. But yeah, personally to me, getting insided is just far worse than just getting normally raided, because you're losing things to people who you thought you could trust because they wouldn't have been in the faction if we didn't think we could trust them. So in a normal inciting situation, that would actually probably be the end of this right here. That'd be all I have to say to you guys. But this one, as I said, was a little bit different because unlike the blazes, we actually had someone online in the faction who saw them doing it. And actually, he's online right now. It's Prado right here. And he actually informed me that the people who incited it were Wank, who is not currently online, but that is how you do his IGN, and someone named Washed Burger, I think it was. And I knew Prado about as well as I knew the 2 guys who incited, in that, I mean, I didn't really know them at all. Recently, a lot of new people have been invited to the faction, which at first I didn't think was that bad of a thing, but it seems like actually might turn into something pretty horrible if everybody else gets incited like me. At this point, though, I have nothing more to lose from this base, so I don't really have to be worried about inciting anymore because they can't incide me anymore. All my IGs are gone. Every spawner I put in this base is gone at this point. But anyway, I'm getting off topic here. So Prado informed me that those 2 are the ones inciting. Now, as I was saying, I don't know Prado that well, so I wasn't sure if he was telling the truth, if he was maybe trying to throw someone else under the bus to protect himself, or to protect someone else that he knew incited. I didn't really know. But the people he was accusing of inciting, I had one of them on Discord, and so what I went ahead and did was just messaged him in a way so that he thought that I had video evidence of him inciting. And so what I'm actually going to do here is show you the Discord conversation that I had with him. So if any of you guys ever get incited in the future, and if you're like me and you're very, very upset about it, and the only thing that'll bring you even a little bit of comfort is if you can at least get the person who did it to admit to doing it. You don't have to wonder forever and forever if the person who incited you is still in the faction. I'll kind of show you guys my method of how I got this guy to confess to inciting, and maybe it'll help one of you guys out in the future, or maybe it'll at least be kind of entertaining for you guys. I don't know. Anyway, let's hop on Discord. Okay, so originally I was gonna actually just pull up my Discord on my monitor and show the whole thing, but then I realized I might accidentally leak something that way, and that's the last thing I need to do right now. I just took screenshots of my conversation with him last night, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put those up on the screen as I read them off to you guys. Also, before I put any of them on the screen, I have to tell you guys, I logged in at 3 a.m. I was getting ready to go to sleep. I was in a pretty decent mood. I hadn't had the worst of days, and so, you know, I didn't have anything to be mad about, and then I log on to find out that I've been incited twice in the span of like 4 to 5 days. So you can imagine I was pretty pissed at the time, and then I find out it's a guy that I've actually talked to on like 1 or 2 occasions. Long story short, I was kind of mad, okay? I put time and money into this monster planet, and, you know, those IGs are part of what I had to show for it. Obviously, getting raided / incited is probably always going to be a part of factions, even if I hate the inciting aspect. So I really shouldn't have expected anything else, but I was angry. Anyway, let's not waste any more time. Let's get into this chat. So, once again, here's the condescending, like, angry message that I was talking about. I started off by saying, "Big mistake, kiddo." Once again, kind of a douchey thing to say, but whatever. I was mad. He incited 18 IGs. I think I kind of have the right to be a little douchey to him. He responded with a question mark. Then I said, "Inciting my 18 IGs." He said, "What?" Acting innocent for some reason. I don't know why he wouldn't just confess up to it right off the bat. Like, what does he have to lose? And then I said, "Kid, someone watched you do it, you're donezo." Which, that was not a lie. I don't know what I meant by donezo. I think he was already kicked from the faction at that point. And so really there's nothing I could do to him. I can't kick him from the faction. I can't go out and kill him or anything like that. So I'm not really sure why I was saying that. I think I just wanted him to feel like he was about to lose something too, because I was mad about losing my IGs. Then he said, "No, I'm confused," still denying it. And then I told him what Prado had told me. "You and Washburger were inside my box placing lucky creeper eggs. You think I'm stupid or something." So basically my goal there was just to make sure that he was not questioning at all, like, whether or not I knew anything. I basically was just trying to say straight up, "Yes, I know you did this. I'm not questioning you. I'm just telling you that you did it, and I know that you did it." And then he said no, still denying it. I really could not believe it at this point. And then I replied, "I've been incited once. I was prepared for it to happen again. I have a video of you and Washburger inside my box placing lucky creeper eggs." Now, if you guys remember, I did talk about a camera mod, and that was originally the route I was going to go with. But then I realized that might be unbelievable because I was logged off at the time, so how would I have a camera mod on him? So I kept going down with the whole idea of me having a video of him, but I kind of switched it from the original camera mod idea that I was going to go with. Then he says, "And how do you have a video?" I said, "The person who watched you do it also recorded it because I was helping him set up his recording software like an hour ago." Which neither of those things are true, but I thought it sounded kind of believable since as a YouTuber I would help people set up their recording softwares if they wanted to make videos and stuff. I thought that was a pretty good explanation of how I could have a video. And then he said, "And just so you know, I didn't take the blazes a few days back. I wasn't even in the faction, nor did I have a TP, so I don't know who is inciting your blazes, but just so you know, it wasn't me." Now, at this point, I was pretty sure that he probably actually didn't inside the blazes because there would be no reason for him to bring it up anyway. But just in case he had, I decided to push a little bit and see if I could get him to confess to that as well. And I said, "Right, just like you were claiming you didn't inside the IGs 2 minutes ago." He said, "Just ask the leader. I wasn't even in the faction. Ask Easy," which Easy Edit is the person who shared my IG box and Blaze box with me. So that kind of made me think, okay, he probably actually didn't inside our Blazes. That was probably someone else, which makes this even worse because if 2 people incited our IGs, and let's just say 2 people probably incited our Blazes as well, we've had 4 insiders in the faction in the matter of like 4 or 5 days, which is just completely ridiculous. But anyway, I moved on. I said, "Just curious why inside the IGs," because I genuinely was curious. I had no idea why he would inside my IGs. As far as I knew, I didn't know he had any beef with the faction at all, but I know I had barely talked to him at all, so there's no way he could have had beef with me. And his response to that was simply 2 words, "wanted to," and then he elaborated, I guess. He said, "You guys kept kicking and killing me the next day for inviting other people, then made me wait in line to join the faction again after I waited my turn already." So basically, he's saying his justification for inciting my Iron Golems is because other mods in the faction were kicking him to invite other people and then making him wait to get invited back. So because he was mad at somebody else, he had to go and ruin my time on Cosmic and take my IGs. Makes a lot of sense, right? Not at all. Anyway, then I quoted "you guys" and said "right," so everyone besides me, because I assumed the other mods probably were all kicking him, because that is something that does happen a lot in the faction, which I can imagine be pretty annoying, is like members get invited and then get kicked like the next day because they want to invite somebody else. Again, I don't think that's a justification for inciting like $40 million worth of IGs. That the only 2 people who had access to those IGs were 2 people who didn't do anything to you, but okay. He also said, "Don't think I did it because you were a YouTuber." I never thought that, but the fact that he said that maybe kind of makes me think that that might have been part of the reason that he decided to inside mine. Then he also mentioned that he didn't even know it was mine and easy at its box. And at this point I was just frustrated because sometimes when you inside somebody, there's like a really good explanation. This was just such a stupid explanation. I don't know how being kicked from the faction a couple times, but then getting invited back anyway, was worth inciting $40 million of someone who, again, who did nothing to him. Whatever though. I said, welp, enjoy the IG with a smiley face. When I was just like, you know what, I'm completely done. And again, I was super salty. He said, I was just annoyed at the fact in general and found a way to show it. Good night, Rage. I said, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. Again, showing how salty I am. And then he just said some other stuff. But yeah, that's basically the conversation there. So once again, I'm very upset that I got incited twice in such a short period of time, but I at least have a small bit of happiness that I was able to get this guy to confess to inciting me, because if I didn't know who did this, I honestly think I might be smashing my headset and keyboard again. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you did enjoy and you haven't already, be sure to smack a like on the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and comment down below with any suggestions or tips you have for me. And I'll see you guys in my next video tomorrow. Peace.